Alright guys, let's get going. Alrighty guys, we are starting to get a little bit on the outskirts of the airspace here, so I did turn your microphones back on. You know, please use those to talk to each other too, right? Doesn't just have to be me. But do remember everybody can hear you though, so no secrets or anything like that on the helicopter. But certainly do ask me as many questions as you want, or you know, feel free to complain about my flying, or even you can make fun of my music selections. Whatever makes you happy with those microphones.
Are those pineapples right below it?
No, this is macadamia nuts. This is one of the Mauna Loa Macadamia nut farms. Those are windbreaks. The big grid made with the tall trees, those are windbreaks. Big walls, and they stop the wind from coming through and knocking the macadamia nuts on the ground. Norfolk Island pine trees, the tall windbreaks. Actually have very few pineapples left on the island. On this island, all the pineapples we grow are just for local consumption. There's only one big plantation left anywhere in the state. That's over on Oahu.
How many feet are we off the ground?
Try to get the microphone closer to your mouth there, Grant. I can't quite hear you.
How many feet off the ground?
Sorry, I still couldn't hear you. See how close my microphone is to my mouth? If I pull it away just like an inch, all of a sudden you can hear
How many feet are we off the ground?
me. We are about 2,000 feet up off the ground right now. How are my volumes for everybody? Everybody can hear me okay? Music's not too loud for anybody? Okay, cool. Do let me know if that changes. I'm on a different sound system, so I don't hear what you guys hear. Easy thing to change, just a couple of buttons and knobs down here. So please, if something's too loud or too quiet, Don't let it bother you, just let me know. It's also why sometimes you hear me stop talking even mid-sentence. I still do talk to air traffic control. I also talk with all the other birds in the air. So if I don't answer a question, I promise I'm not trying to be rude or ignore anybody. I just need to take care of some pilot stuff from time to time. Even just off the nose, you see a pretty good line where all the homes begin in the rainforest right here. And follow that house line all the way out to the ocean. Route that little point in the island, that's Kīlauea Point. This house line is pretty much the dividing line between Mauna Loa and Kīlauea volcanoes.
Going to Kīlauea.
Just passed on to Kīlauea right now. This island made of 5 different volcanoes. It's just tough to tell where one begins and the next one ends because all the lava flows have just intermingled and made it look like one big plot of earth. So the only way to know is to look at a chart, something I have to do every day, look at charts. And so the charts always point out the border between Kīlauea and Mauna Loa right back there, right where the homes start. All 5 of the volcanoes that make up this island are all still active volcanoes. This volcano right here, Kīlauea, the most active volcano on the entire planet. Which means we all just build our homes right up on top of the most active volcano in the world. Eh? Coming in view of some recent lava flows. Christine, just off the nose, you see the 2 black paths that have burned themselves out through the rainforest. There's a lava flow heading right toward this little town called Pahoa. This was just roughly 3 years ago these lava flows were heading toward Pahoa.
That circle off to the left, anything important?
Used to be. It isn't anymore though. We used to have big antennas sticking up out of there. That was one of the ground stations for the GPS satellites. They took it down about 6 months ago. I don't know where they moved it to. It's got to be somewhere around here. Lava's running. We don't get big raging rivers of red lava very often. That can happen, but it's very rare. Well, we get our lava tubes, certainly what we had right here. We currently have running down toward the ocean. Just below the surface, big tunnels, lava tubes.
What do they call it when the lava spouts up out of the tube?
A breakout, breaking out through the top of the tube. That happens all the time because the lava is constantly building up pressure in that tube, right? So when the lava flow first starts, it'll be a red river of lava, but that's just for the first 50 or 100 yards or so. Lava loses over half of its energy within just the first second. About 2 or 3 seconds, it'll go from 2,200 degrees down to 500 degrees, 2 or 3 seconds. 500 degrees when it gets this layer of rock on top of it. Thin layer though, so that layer of rock though, it's thick enough that it traps all the heat below the surface like an oven. So that's how that lava can stay molten right below that new layer of rock. So that molten lava is still moving, but that layer of rock blocked the lava flow for a little while, so that moving lava is stacking up behind the blockage, building more and more pressure. That's how we get that lava to break out. Sometimes it'll break out the top of the tube, sometimes the side, back, front, middle, whatever. But then when it breaks out the end, it'll go down the hill a few more feet. Cool, get a layer of rock on top of it, and now that tube's a little bit longer than it was before. And so the lava just building the lava tube as it's creeping down the side of the hill.
If it's still warm?
You mean like the lava rock out here?
Yeah.
No, not out here. In fact, very little of the lava rock, even out on the lava field, is going to be hot. You need to be right on the lava tube, and even then, if you're standing directly on top of the lava tube, you may not feel any heat. The only thing that's definitely hot, of course, is the red molten lava. And then that first layer of rock that it creates within the first few seconds, it's a very silvery color, really reflects the sun. And that's still pretty hot. That's going to be about 500 degrees. But it'll lose that heat often within just an hour or so. Sometimes it'll hold on to it longer, but not very often. You can really see the lava tube. With all the rain, the lava rock is all saturated. It's not holding any more water. So the water's going down to the magma below the surface, boiling, coming back up in steam. And so Rebecca, you could start up at the pool vent, come down the hill, and just follow the column of steam. That's the current lava tube. The eruption's been going on for 35 years. That little hill with all the smoke coming out of the top of it, that opened up back January 3rd, 1983. Hasn't stopped. 35 years. Before it started, it was all rainforest out here. But all the destruction didn't happen at once because we don't have the really violent, very explosive eruptions. We're a different type of volcano. Those violent volcanoes are subduction volcanoes. Here in Hawaii, our volcanoes are shield volcanoes, built through an entirely different process. That's why we behave so different. So this has all just been tiny little lava flow after tiny little lava flow, again and again and again, over the 35 years that the pool event's been erupting. It's wiped out 54 square miles of rainforest.
How long did that take to wipe out the 54 miles?
About 35 years. Making some soup?
All of this?
Yeah, this is all from that eruption right there. I suppose, yeah, that's making soup. This is just petting your dog, I guess. Get that mic right on your mouth there, Christine.
What are the things stuck over there? They look like trucks or cars.
I imagine you're looking at the homes over there is what you're looking at.
Okay.
That's the town of Kīlauea. There was originally 36 homes over there in Kīlauea. 1986, the lava came through, wiped out that town, and 33 people decided to rebuild. 1992, lava came through again, wiped out the town again, and 33 people decided to rebuild again. 2007, we lost about a dozen homes. 2009, we lost 4 homes for a 4th time. Everybody who's rebuilding there in Kīlauea. And I talked about the lava breaking out anywhere out of the top of the lava tube. Rebecca, you see some of that happening just out your window, just below this big green group of trees right here. One of the main reasons why the lava's not going in the ocean right now. It's breaking out through the top of the tube right here, making this big red lava river for us. Come up, you can see there's some little red rivers. They're much smaller, but there's some smaller ones here, Ruth, just up the hill. All that silvery lava rock I was talking about, that this is a brand new layer that still might be a little bit warm. And because of the fact that the lava can break out anywhere along the tube, every time it does that, it's making a new lava tube on top of the existing one. So really, although we often refer to the lava tube, that's a misnomer. It's not just one tube. It's a network of several hundred, if not even over 1,000 different lava tubes. And they're all working together to bring that lava from the Pu'u event down to the ocean and make that new island for us. You see a bunch more of that lighter gray and silvery stuff, Ruth, down out your window right here. So another spot where some lava has been breaking out through the top of a new lava tube over here as well. Let's see if we can't spot any more over here.
What kind of gases are being emitted?
That's sulfur dioxide primarily. So down here, this is steam. All the low-lying stuff that you see rising off, that's steam, so that's just water. But the volcanic smoke is the sulfur dioxide. You can tell the difference because smoke will rise a lot higher. Steam will always dissipate within the first 20, 30 feet, something like that. But depending on how much smoke you have, the smoke column can rise hundreds of feet into the air. You know, before this eruption started back in '83, the hill wasn't here at all. But we can have an eruption absolutely anywhere. It doesn't have to be out of the summit of the volcano. This is not the summit. It doesn't even have to be out of an existing crater or an existing hill. The earth just opened up right here back in 1983. Lava came up out through that new hole, spilled out the sides, hardened into lava rock. Do that again, you get lava to harden up on top of that lava rock, and then do that again. Took about 3 years for it to build the hill that we're looking at. Since then, the hill's been slowly destroying itself and then rebuilding itself and then destroying itself. The tallest it's ever been is about 500 feet. Currently it's standing just about 300 feet above the slope of the mountain. And just like the lava cools very quickly out here and gives us a lava tube, same thing happens inside the vent. It's constantly cooling, building a lava rock roof, and then that roof collapses. Builds a new roof, and then that one collapses. Sometimes rather than the whole thing, we just get tiny little sections that collapse. Even small little holes in the surface, called skylights. You'll see a big skylight. You see the main collapse here, Rebecca, just out your window. Go behind the main collapse. There's a real big skylight back there. See if we can't get a peek inside, and maybe if we're lucky we'll get to see the lava churn and bubble, possibly even some spatter come out through the top of it. Yeah, there it is. Look at it all churning and bubbling around in there. There you go, Ruth, through the smoke in that big skylight there. You can see it churning and bubbling in there.
I've seen some kind of equipment down there, little seismic things maybe?
That little tripod you see right up on the edge, those are cameras. Behind that, seismic meters, tilt meters, GPS stations. A couple big solar panels providing all power for all that equipment there. course, this process that we're looking at, this is the process that has built every last square inch of land in the entire Hawaiian island chain. All the way from here on out to Midway. It's all started out looking like this barren lava rock out here. Pretty amazing how quickly all the vegetation starts growing back out here. You can see it all over the place. Just out your window, Ruth, on that kind of reddish brown lava, you see a bunch of new trees growing out of the top of it. Big group of new trees just off the nose here, Stephen. Not the really dark green, well-defined stuff. That's all just stuff, forest that hadn't burned yet. But you can see the new trees. They're just scattered all through here. Pretty amazing how quickly everything grows back out here. The lava rock, it looks so barren, looks like you're never going to grow anything out of it. But it is exceptionally fertile. A lot of nitrogen in the rock, a lot of iron as well. That's how we get all the red rock and the red dirt and the red sand. All the iron in the rock is starting to rust. Certainly plenty of sulfur from all the volcanic ash. That's why everything grows back so big and lush and green so quickly. Very first vegetation will often start growing back within just the first 3 years.
What about the bird life or any animal life up here?
Yeah, I got quite a bit. If you're an wild animal, rainforest is a great place to live. So most common thing we have on the ground would be either a pig or a chicken. But we also get goat, deer, ram, donkey, mongoose, turkey, bats, rats, occasional wild cow.
Snakes?
What's that?
Did you get snakes?
Snakes, no snakes. No snakes, no monkeys. Most of the time when people think about rainforest, they think of snakes and monkeys, but we don't have either.
I think mongoose and snakes.
What's that?
When I think of mongoose, I think snakes.
No, mongoose aren't snakes, they're a rodent.
They eat snakes.
I can't hear you, Ruth. You need to get that microphone right up on your mouth.
They eat snakes.
Oh, they eat snakes. They also eat chicken eggs. That's what they eat primarily. Here, chicken eggs.
You guys have a big problem with chickens here, yeah?
What's that?
You have a big problem with chickens just running wild here?
Yeah, chickens and pigs. It's pretty ridiculous. In fact, if you're a hunter, you can hunt as many pig, as many chicken as you want any day of the year. Unlike most animals, you need to get an individual tag for each animal. Chickens and pigs, you can hunt as many as you want. I got some in my backyard if you want to come check them out. I won't even charge you to hunt in my backyard. You could just come get the pigs for me. guys bear with me just a sec. I need to switch off for a little bit and talk with air traffic control. But I'll get the microphones turned back on just as soon as I can. Alrighty guys, thanks for that. We are just making our way on back into some controlled airspace here. So once again, just like on the way out, do forgive me if I stop talking mid-sentence or maybe ask you to repeat a question. Just be talking with towers getting closer to town here. In case you're wondering why I all of a sudden decided to turn left, tower made me. That's why I'm doing this. If you're interested. I always think that's interesting. Just random turns in the middle of nowhere for no reason. It's usually tower that makes you do that. Flying over Hawaiian Paradise Park right now. Pretty good example of one of the unique things about this side of the island, and that's how we gather water. If you look in everybody's backyard, you can see these really big cylinders. They look like above ground swimming pools. Those are called catchment tanks, catching rainwater. They don't need to drill down for a well like you would pretty much anywhere else in the world because we get 200 inches of rain a year. It's a lot easier, it's more efficient. Just catch it from the sky. Works out real well for us.
I was under the assumption that it's illegal in most of the United States.
Catchment tanks?
Catching rainwater.
Well, it's not illegal here. I had never heard that before. That seems like a weird thing to be illegal. What, are you stealing the rain?
I've seen it posted on the internet. I'm sure it didn't lie because it's on the internet.
Coming in a pretty good view of Hilo here, Stephen, just off the nose toward the bay. That's our big old bustling metropolis of Hilo out there.
What's that down there
What's that?
with the green roof?
That's the Kamehameha private schools. It's kindergarten through 12th grade. And surprisingly, Hilo is the second biggest city in the entire state of Hawaii. You drive from one end of our town to the other in 10 minutes. The second biggest city in the entire state. We even have a university here in the middle of our tiny little town. Ruth, right toward the middle of town. You can see all the red roofs gathered up together. That is the University of Hawaii Hilo. You know, I imagine if you're a budding geologist, it's got to be a pretty good place to go to school. This island is the most geologically active place on the entire planet. There's got to be some good hands-on learning there at the University of Hawaii Hilo. Starting to come into view with some scars from our old sugarcane days. As we go north of town here, up all along the Hamakua coast, that's the name of this coastline right here, you see all the big open green meadow areas everywhere. Anytime you see a big open green meadow like that in the middle of the rainforest, it's always an old sugarcane plantation. Sugar used to be our #1 industry. Just that one crop was our #1 industry. It's completely gone now though, not a single sugarcane plantation left anywhere on this island. Our last export was 95, and our last plantation closed down in 96. And when the sugar barons left town, they didn't replant all the trees they tore down to grow their sugar. So it left all the big open green meadow areas like this. I think it's interesting how all of a sudden we're running into so many rivers. You can even see a waterfall there, Ruth, in that little cove right there. Like 4 rivers here on this little cove. Another 4 rivers on the next one right there. Took off out of the airport, we flew 30 miles down south, didn't run into a single river, not a single waterfall. Now all of a sudden we come north of town, can't go more than a quarter mile before you run into another river, another beautiful waterfall. All it has to do with the age of the mountain. All the rivers, all the waterfalls, all the fresh water on the island, it's all just rainwater. It takes a long time for the rain to really be able to organize itself and start carving out the riverbeds. And Kīlauea is just too new. It's always erupting. Over 90% of the surface of Kīlauea is less than 1,100 years old. Just not enough time to start digging out the riverbeds. This is a much older volcano. Mauna Kea here hasn't even erupted in almost 5,000 years. Over 90% of the surface of this mountain is over 100,000 years old. So that's finally enough time to start digging out the riverbeds. See a couple really good waterfalls go up this riverbed right here, Ruth. Both of them standing just about 100 feet up. We call call these the Mauna Falls.
Ia ue kau nui mana oa e kau mai ke anu e nue na kako e ike the rainbow connection ke aloha e pio mauai na vai e hoka i ku'u i ini i kau i ka hoku au he mana o ko'u e nā iho ai.
See a couple more waterfalls on this next little cove here, Ruth. Real big one off to the left. And then you see there's another little tiny cove there. A little powerful waterfall. That's what dug that little inlet there. And then there's another hidden one. Pretty visible today because it's so powerful because of all the rain. But in the trees above the smaller one there. There they are.
The rainbow connection ke aloha e pio mauai o kako me ke anu e nue na hoa e hau oli ai e oi a ia ka nui i kena i ku i nei mau maka e mea ia ku nui mauli a loko e hua e nei ua pili na mea paua ke ao i ka pio ke anu e nue na kako e ike the rainbow connection ke aloha e pio someday you'll find it the rainbow connection the lovers the
Alright guys, it is time for us to start making our way on back into the airport here, which means I need to turn off these microphones as we start making our approach. But I do want to thank you guys for flying with us. I've enjoyed being your tour guide today. Once again, my name is Jeremy. And when you do get on back into the gift shop, we have a couple places set up to leave some comments. If you guys wouldn't mind letting us know what you thought of your tour, we'd really appreciate that. Blue Hawaiian does have bases here, Waikoloa, which is the other side of this island, Maui, Oahu, and Kauai as well. Once we do get on the ground, please leave your seatbelts fastened and your headsets on until either I tell you it's time to take them off or the crew comes and opens these doors. Either way is good. And the crew will open the doors, so please don't try to do that yourself. And when you get out of the helicopter, never walk backward toward the tail rotor. And please don't spend any extra time underneath these turning rotor blades. Seems everybody always wants to wait for your partner, but please don't do that. Promise crew will take good care of your partner. Everybody can walk straight ahead. There's that box with the white stripes y'all were standing in when we loaded up. Everybody can meet up at that white stripe safety box, and then the ground crew will come walk y'all on back into the gate together. But I do need to turn these microphones off. Just wanted to say thanks one more time, and I'll talk with you guys again just as soon as we get on the ground. Thanks again. It's hard to tell for sure because it's so rough out here, but I think that's a whale up off that right nose. Come back up.
And the dreams that world. Well, I see skies of blue and I see clouds of white and the brightness of day. I like the dark and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking and singing, how do you do? They really say, I love you. I hear babies cry and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like a lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere.
All right, guys, thanks again. Give us just a sec here. I think I'm going to shut down before we get out, so it'll be just a second as the engine cools down here. Meantime, Christine, I do need to remind you one more time and ask you not to pull that emergency handle while we're waiting here. Appreciate that. Thanks again. I do have the mics back on. Y'all want to talk to each other or ask me any more questions or make fun of Kīlauea. He can't hear us, so you can do that if you want.
What a dork.
Seriously.
Dreams that you dream of, dreams real.